Good morning, Flosstube. It's Lora of Mischievous Stitches. I'm back this weekend to show you some progress, some stash, MAYnia plans, a giveaway winner, and just show you all the things. So hang on to your socks and let's get started. If you didn't already know, it's MAYnia. May 1st, we started MAYnia. I decided to join in this year. This will be my third year I've participated. I stood on the fence for a few weeks of whether or not I was going to do it. I was, and I decided to jump off that fence and join, and I changed it to a little MAYnia, meaning I'm only doing smalls, things that I know that I can finish within the month, so I'm sticking with my yearly goals, but then I'm still participating, I'm still having finishes, I'm still having fun, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm going to show you my progress from my focus pieces for this week, as well as, let me go upstairs. Let me see. No, I've got it. I was going to say, let me go upstairs and get I have a small little finish, but I've got it. So we're going to jump right in. My focus piece, my main focus piece is Barbara Anna's The Fall sampler. And I'm on the bottom third of the pattern, which means I'm on the home stretch. The bottom left-hand corner is where I've focused this week. I've begun the horse. My plan, my goal is to get that horse finished this weekend. So after this video and just a little stitching on something small or something little, I'm gonna get back to this horse and hopefully finish it before this evening. So let me show you my progress. I'm very happy with the progress I made this week. So here we go. Here's the whole thing in its entirety. And my focus area this week has been this corner. So I have completed this berry bowl, this flower in the vase. There's a small bush here. I've got a tiny little start on the horse here. It's his ear going down to his eye. I finished all, I think when I saw you last week, I had not put all the leaves and the fruit in the Tree of Knowledge. That has been done, as well as we've got Captain Morgan there with his leg lifted up. He's holding a fruit instead of a drink, but anyway, Adam is complete as well. The crown to the left of him is completed. So I got a lot done this week. I would have loved to have had that horse completed before the weekend, so I had something magnificent to show you, but I still have something magnificent. I've got a good bit done, so I'm going to show you the entire thing. Oh, I can't wait. I am going to keep my fingers crossed that I'm going to have an April finish on this piece. It's been so much fun. I'm not looking forward to the end of it. I'm looking forward to having something beautiful done, but I'm not looking forward to the ending of that piece. I have enjoyed it. I have really enjoyed it. Excuse me just a second. There's that thread I was looking for. Well, my. Okay, so on the 1st, Friday, I did not start with MAYnia. That day on lunch, I've decided, since Caroline Behringer is now finished, that I'm going to focus on something else instead of starting another small, because I've been rotating between 3 patterns each week. And I didn't want to start a third one going into MAYnia, because that would take up additional time that I would like to focus on MAYnia Littles. So the only other focus piece I have right now is going to be Birds of a Feather by Blackbird Designs. And I'm stitching this with Jen of JensStitchingNiche. We started it in MAYnia of 2018, so it's time for a MAYnia finish. This is another that I hope to finish in April. So what I've been doing each day, instead of waiting till Fridays, which we are stitching along on this, Jen and I, and there's several that have joined in with us, Krista Gramer, Karen Macon, and Becky from Socks for Mom here on Flosstube. They have joined in with us, and we're using the hashtag Friendship Friday. So anyone that's working on this that wants to join in, just use the hashtag. We can cheer each other on. Let's get this finished. But what I have decided to do is, instead of just working on it on Friday, I have been working on it on my lunch break. So it might be 20 minutes, it might be 30 minutes, but I'm working on a finish, and I've gotten a good bit completed this week. Oh, let me move that needle. It's holding on to both pieces of the sides of the fabric. Okay. So this week I have finished the white flower. I have finished all those fiddly bits that I was working on last week, all the way down to here. And so this is the bottom of the pattern. Excuse me. This is the bottom of the pattern, but it's the last, you know, this specific color. It changes colors on the next stitch here. So that's the bottom of the pattern. I also finished up some of the leaves in this white flower. I put in the cutest little red cardinal, and the fun part about him is, if you didn't know, this pattern is only all cross stitch, but there is some over one, and the over one is in the legs of that tiny little cardinal. Can you see it? So the thigh of his leg is 1 over 2, and the bottom of his leg and his feet are 1 over 1. So I've gotten a good bit done. I'm very happy with my progress on this, so I'm gonna stick with lunchtime stitching on this one. And wouldn't it be nice to have 2 huge MAYnia finishes as well as my littles? So we're gonna flash forward to Friday evening, and I decided to start Foxwood Crossings Della, wait a minute, let me say that right. Della Robbia, not Delia, but Della Robbia. These are sleds. They're done in creams, reds, olive greens, and mustard yellows. So those are some of my favorite colors to decorate with in the house. So I have these, and I started one, and I have a finish on one. So this is my finish. I started it on the 1st. I finished it on the 2nd. And so I have 3 more. So this week I will finish one of those flower vase. So this is the one I finished, so I'm gonna finish one of those. So later tonight, I'm gonna finish this piece onto, excuse me, let me fix my sled. I'm going to go ahead and finish it onto the sled. So it'll go on there like this. And to just give you a point of reference, or just to show you how it kind of works up, I've done one before. So I pulled this out to show you. Now this is the larger sled. I have a MAYnia piece this year that's gonna finish up on another one of the large sleds. But I think this one was called Snowy Santa. But I love this, and they're beautiful on a tree. So my desire is to have several of these on a small, maybe a bottle brush tree for Christmas this year. I think it would look wonderful. And these are the first time I've done the smalls. So I have 6 of these total, so 1 down, 5 to go for MAYnia. Yesterday was May the 2nd, and on May the 2nd, I picked up, let me put these threads in here, I don't want to get them pushed off to the side. On May the 2nd, I picked up a Sue Hillis design called So Many Stitches. Now, if you remember my last video, I was sharing about the stitching of a Sue Hillis design that we're doing as a stitch along starting June 1st. There's charms in that pattern. Let me go ahead and show you the pattern. So I'm gonna be kind of back and forth between the stitch along and my May 2nd piece. But this is the Needlework Sampler by Sue Hillis. I got the pattern from JensStitchingNiche. I got this thread fob from Becky Socks for Mom. And I couldn't find these charms, and a couple kind viewers let me know they could be found on Sue Hillis's website. So I ordered those and got those in and shared them with you on my last video. When those pieces came, they come with this complimentary pattern from Sue Hillis. So I decided, because I theme for the stitch along is pincushions, tomato pincushions. What better thing to stitch during MAYnia? And I gave this a start last night. I used the remnant pieces off of my finish from Caroline Behringer last week. I had a little excess fabric at the bottom, so I cut this off, and so it gave me 2 small pieces like this. It's a 36 count, so it's kind of small. I can do an ornament. And the other side of this remnant, I decided to start sew my stitches. And here it is here. Now it does call for stitching 2 over 2 because I'm on 36. I'm doing 1 over 2. I have done almost all of the stitching with the exception of the tips of the scissors and the thimble and the back stitching. I went back and forth with whether or not I wanted to do the back stitching because I like the aged look of this as it is. But because there's pins and you can see the dots around the top of the tomato, those are pin heads. So since I have to do the pins, I must do the lines. You can see what I'm working on here is the lines in the tomato itself. I'm just going to go ahead with the back stitching. So basically I've probably got about at the most an hour, at the least 30 minutes worth of work on this, and MAYnia the second will be completed. So that is my goal today with my stitching, is to finish the stitching of this, to begin the stitching on my second sled for today, which is the 3rd, so that will be my 3rd start, and to work on the horse from the fall. So I've got a lot of stitch plans, but since my husband is out of the house for the good bit of the day, I'll be left alone with my stitches. No interruptions, just enjoyment of my stitching. Oh, and let me show you the threads. I like these colors. You know, I have never stitched a Sue Hillis. I know they have back stitching, and I shy away from back stitching because I just don't care for it. I just don't care for it. So if I can get away with doing a pattern that has back stitching and it looks great without it, chances are I'm not putting it in it. But when I picked up these threads, aren't they yummy? And there's one color missing, and that's 762. So that goes in the thimble, and that's why I didn't finish it for the video, because I couldn't find it. And then I'm up here on my table and it just falls in the floor. So it was teasing me. It was teasing me. So that's my works. And so now I'm going to share with you, I got some happy mail in my mailbox this week. I got a postcard last weekend from Nicole of Becky Stitcher. Thanks, Nicole. And I got a card from Samantha. I appreciate this so much, Samantha. You're so kind. And I got one more card because she's just chicking on me. This is from my sweet friend, Mary. She's one of the giggles. I love this pun. It's so funny. It's so us. And on that note, I want to share with you what I did. I had a suggestion or an idea from Becky. She passed an idea on to me to, why don't I make my own postcards? And I thought, that's a great idea since I'm doing a postcard. So I went online and I used my tomato picture, and I ordered myself some postcards. They're all the same. And because it was my first order, I got a discount on them. So some of you will be finding this in your mailbox soon. I'm going to address them today. I'll probably have a good bit of them sent out tomorrow. I just love these. I'm sure this will not be the last time that I do this, because postcard stamps, you can pick them up at your local post office. They're less than the 55-cent first class stamp. I can't remember the exact cost of them, but they're less. So it's always good to save some money because you can just put it to your stitching, even if it's just a few cents. So I'm going to send these out. I love that these are personal to my stitch friends. They get this. They know what this means. this will put a smile on their face bigger than a postcard from somewhere I visited this year. So this will not be the first time I do this, and I'm even looking forward to possibly doing this for Christmas instead of sending out Christmas cards, sending out Christmas postcards. So there's that. And what I'll do in the drop box below is I will put in, because it says if you refer a friend, then the friend gets, I think it's 25% off. I'm not 100% certain of that, but I'll put the information below. If you're wanting to join in while we're all sitting at home under, you know, house arrest, that's not the right word, while we're sitting at home and we're social distancing, wouldn't it be neat to send these postcards out to your friend and get some back in return? So I'm going to put the information down below, whatever the percentage off they sent me in the email, so you can link to the site where I ordered these, and you can take pictures of your own stitch works and make a few postcards of your own to mail out. So Becky, thank you for this idea. I thought it was an awesome idea, and I ran with it. I'm so glad that I have them. So let's move on from that. I've got a little haul this week. Not a lot of haul, but a little haul, because it's a little mania. It's more than a little haul. I've decided I want some more project bags, so I went and I've gotten a few more fabrics. The restrictions have lessened here where I'm at, so we can go out to certain establishments. They have their normal hours of operation are less than normal, but you know, face mask, social distance while you're out, you're good to go. So I bought this fabric. I love this. So this will be the outer, this will be the inner fabric. And then I love this one as well. I'm just going to show you the outer fabric first. So sewing machines and orange tomato pincushion, scissors, seam rippers, spools, needles, thimbles, needle threaders, buttons, measuring tapes, all the good stuff. Even thread skeins are in here. So I got that, and I got this is the inner fabric. And I always get a yard, so that gives me a bag for myself and a bag to gift, and I usually gift them. The last time I did a giveaway and give away a bag, you ladies and gentlemen went nuts. So I'm gonna do that again because that was a lot of fun. So, and this one is just for fun. It seems like the thing right now is llamas. So I got some cool little llama fabric, and I got this as the inner fabric. So in the coming weeks, once I get these made up, I will have another giveaway for a project bag. So while I was picking up that fabric, I picked up this basket. Ooh, that's the back. And this basket is, I went to my brother-in-law's yesterday with my husband, and I picked this up on the way with the fabric. And so I had all my stitch things in there because I went for thread, and I ended up with fabric in a basket too. So instead of a handful of something, I come out with a bag full of something. And I really want to line this with a nice fabric, like a just an older fabric, the Civil War type fabrics, the you know, I think it's the 1920s and 30s fabrics. I love those, the darker, the richer colors. And the fabric's not going to be a problem to find. I just want to know how to line this basket with the fabric so that when I'm putting my stitching in it, that the roughness of the basket weave is not going to damage my fabric and my threads. So yesterday I did do a little YouTube searching for lining baskets. All the tutorials that I found were to line baskets with handles, not baskets with lids. So there's nothing around the edge of this basket like handles to attach the fabric to. And I know that there's got to be someone out there that either knows where to find it or knows a blog that may have instructions for, I just want to have a tutorial or information on how to affix the liner to the inner part of the basket to here. I really don't want to nail anything. I definitely do not want to glue anything. So if you have ideas, if you have firsthand knowledge, if you know of a blog, if you know a girl who knows a girl who went to a class by a designer, please just leave me a comment below and give me a path that I can walk down to find how to line the inside of this fabric. And this was $24.99 at Hobby Lobby, and I used my 40% off coupon, but do remember that they also have awesome sales weekly, and at some point they're gonna put the baskets 50% off, and you can get it then. There is a larger size basket from this one, and I might end up with that one too, but I'm gonna stick with this one for now. And here is some haul that was sent to me by Julie of Reflections Stitching and Framing in Nebraska. And if you haven't been watching her chart of the day videos, do so. She is eclectic with it. She is not showing one specific designer or just samplers or just smalls. She's across the board. So she's doing a chart of the day, and I think today will be the 23rd chart of the day that she focuses on. And I happened to watch one day when she was focusing the new Blackbird design, and since I only had one of the most recent market releases, I decided to pick this up. And I've got a piece of vintage country mocha to stitch it on. And I know you all have seen it, so I decided to get this one. I also picked up Plum Street Samplers. This is a Shepherd's Song. I absolutely love this one. There was just a few that caught my eye. One of them I've showed you, which is Miss Omen from Lila's Studio. The other one that really caught my eye was this one, and now I have it. I did not kit this one up. And the third one that I kitted up with Julie, which is one of the ones that really got me this year, is Faith, Hope, Peace, and Love. Faith, Hope, Peace, and Love by Teresa Kogut. And I just this week saw another stitcher that has already finished this one, and I don't remember the name of the stitcher, but this is an amazing piece. Once again, this picture does not do it justice. It is not, it's different. It's a beautiful difference from just this picture here. And I don't know if this is actually a picture of the finished piece or a picture of, it looks like it is a picture of the finished piece. You know, some pattern designers put a picture of, I guess their program software of the piece. I don't think that's it, but I got a piece of 40 count, I think it's vintage exemplar. No, it's just exemplar linen. And those are the colors and the fabric. I love it. I love it. So this one, if I start one of the market starts, because right now I'm watching everyone start them and finish them. If I start a market start soon, it's either going to be this one or Miss Omen by Lila Studio. I also picked up a couple things yesterday because I like to have these. They're real cheap and inexpensive. Hobby Lobby has them, but this is just a tiny little magnetic needle case. And since I knew I was going away and I was going to be traveling and stitching, I decided to get one of these so that I don't want to lose my needles on someone else's couch. So it's one thing if they stick in my husband's bum, it's another if they stick in my brother-in-law's bum because I'm stitching on his couch. So there's this, and it just closes up. Like I said, the white part there is just a magnet. Just a tiny little magnet case. It works perfectly. It's got a little magnifier there. I don't know what I'd use that for. Maybe it's there to thread a needle, but I don't see how I can hold this and thread the needle. But it works for what I bought it for. And I also bought another of these when I got that. This is just a tiny little seam ripper. I use these a lot. A lot. I do use this if I need to frog. You have to be very careful. I definitely don't want to cut into my fabric, and I know you all do not want to do that either. But if you're very careful, and I will only cut through the top thread. I never go into the bottom thread. I cut the top thread, and it makes it easier to use my needle just to scrape along those stitches and pull them loose. This is the part that I love about it. I know that some people have said they use just pencil erasers for this. You have to be careful with the pencil erasers because, you know, they do slough off as you're erasing with them. This does not. But when I do frog, and the older I get, the more I frog, but I use this, and it just gently removes those tiny fibers from your thread, the fuzzies. And so I'll just gently wipe this after I've frogged the stitches. I gently wipe this across the top to pull the excess fuzz from the stitches that I have removed. And I'll also gently rub this on the back of the fabric. So it gets all that excess fibers left over from those frog stitches. And I love them. And they're so inexpensive. It's less than $2. I think it's like $1.49 for one of these. I have one by my stitch chair. I have one in my normal stitch bag that I take when I'm going on retreats and things. But that one's the one by my stitch chair is a large one, and I just like these tiny ones. The larger one's about the size of, you know, the large crayons from kindergarten, you know, the ones that were larger in diameter. They were fat and chunky. The larger one is like that, where this one's small, compact, and slender. So there's that. And I want to remind you all again, I've already talked about it, but I want to remind you all again about the Needlework Sampler Stitch Along that starts on the 21st, not 21st, 1st of June. And I have my charms in, and I have my what you call it? My thread ring with my tomato thread ring. And I had a giveaway on this bag video before last, and Miss Jan McGregor won that video. When she contacted me with her information this past weekend, she stated that she had the pattern, she just wanted the bag. So guess what that means? It means that I have another pattern. I have another pattern, and where did I stick it? It's right here in front of me. So I have another pattern to give away, and I've already contacted another viewer from that, I'm sorry, from the video before last when I announced that I was doing the giveaway. I also announced that this person was, you know, that Jan McGregor had this one. And this past week when she passed on the pattern, I notified someone else. Last name was Greenwood. At this point, I cannot remember her first name. But if your last name is Greenwood, check your comments from my video number 95. And you may have been the winner for this. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but I will also put it in the drop-down list below. So if you have a close stitch friend and her last name's Greenwood, please look at the description notes to see if your friend was the one that won this pattern, and help me reach out to her so she can give me her mailing address, and then also the email that will be listed below for her to get in touch with me to give me her mailing address so I can get this out to her. I'd also like to do one other giveaway this week. I'm going to go ahead and pass this on. I'm going to have this finished in an hour or so. So if you're interested in having this pattern, Sue Hillis, So Many Stitches, comment below and let me know what your MAYnia plans are. So what are your MAYnia plans? Until next time, everyone have a great stitchy-filled week. If you're participating in MAYnia, enjoy every stitch. If you're just a spectator for MAYnia, cheer everyone on. But until next week, hugs and stitches. See you soon. Bye-bye.